In the last video, we have talked that crisis is nothing but the merely of the transfer of values from one group to another, and the stock market is probably the main method billions are using to take advantage of the crisis, which you can do as well. Let's find out what are the best companies to invest in the middle of this crisis and why. First, Coca-Cola. If there is one company that would definitely survive this crisis and even keep rising, Coca-Cola. In fact, the crisis isn't in any way stopping people from the drinking Coca-Cola, especially at Justin. Guess who was the major investor in Coca-Cola? Warren Buffett. Why? You have done the entire video on that, but in short, in order to find if a company is worth investing or not, you have to look for the three trios. And based on these trios, your questions, if you want to call them, you can make up your mind. First, the products and the businesses models should be as simple as possible because it will get easier to predict the future of the company. Take an example of the Coca-Cola. 10 or 15 years from now, it's not much going to change. It's going to be the same Coca-Cola, maybe with the different designs or marketing, slightly different types, but it is going to the old sales soft drink. So it is easier to predict that the company is going to stay relevant years down the road. Secondly, will the customers buy the product again and why? The great products is when your client would keep coming back for it every day or every week or even every year. Like bread, if you are selling bread, you would expect the exact same customers to come back tomorrow or the next week. Over and over, regardless of the circumstances. Does Coca-Cola tricks this box? Definitely. Some people can't even spend the day without the least having one can. And finally, now strong is the brand name. People have the tendency to buy from the companies that they feel connected to. Shelves are filled with so many soft drinks, but you easily recognize Coca-Cola and a few others. And that's why, even though the stock's price is significantly down, it will definitely rise back to where it was and keep increasing over time. Of course, you still have to read their financial statements, but Coca-Cola has proven to be one of the best investments ever. Buffett once said that he would never ever sell his Coca-Cola shares. Second, Berkshire Hathaway B. The second stocks must be definitely be on your list is Berkshire Hathaway. It's basically a holding company that invests in other businesses. By the way, it even owns entire businesses like Keys Candy. So if you want to invest in all the companies that Warren Buffett invests, you just have to buy the Berkshire stocks. And guess what? It has suffered tremendously in the middle of this panic. And no one understands the market better than Buffett. And the companies he has invested are great stocks. And they are all will definitely rise back. In fact, the huge chunks the Berkshire Hathaway portfolio is Coca-Cola because every business that Buffett invests is similar to one way or another to Coca-Cola, and was the three main traits that we have taken about area. Of course, the stock's price is beyond that most people can afford, but they have Class B shares which are quite affordable. 3. The Delta Airlines sounds shorter airlines. Since we are all advised to stay at home, the transport industry is suffering more than once. Entire fields of the planes are stuck in the airports because no one would risk to fly. So Delta Airlines or Southwest, for example, are going down. Delta Airlines were down by 60%, but it's clear that they are slightly recovering already. We are not sure yet how long the travel ban is going to continue, but I'm sure sooner or later the planes will dominate the skies again, which means their stocks will get back to and probably even rise further. Fourth, Airbus Boeing. And because the aviation industry is suffering, the demand of the planes is down or none at all, which means the Boeing and Airbus are taking the strong hit. Due to the virus, entire countries closed down their borders. The the thing is, right now we don't know what exactly airlines are going to get back to businesses, maybe within a few weeks or months or even years. Who knows? However, the aerospace industry is competitive and not everyone can start manufacturing planes or rocket useless unless you are from the different planet like Elon Musk. On top of that, these two companies received multiple government contracts to develop even military planes, so they are safe for many years ahead. Of course, Boeing has an issue with their latest plane, 737 MAX, and it's definitely going to impact the airlines, but businesses and the financial statements. But overall, it is the massive corporation that had been in the market for the decades, and at least for the next few years is going to be a leader into the industry. But if you do not trust Boeing, you have the Airbus. Its stock has plummeted significantly as well. Fifth, Apple, Microsoft. When it comes to the tech companies, I guess Apple and Microsoft are the best, safest investments one can make. Both of these companies crossed the $1 trillion valuations and were rising gradually. By the way, for the last couple of the years, Buffett aggressively began investing in Apple because Apple has unique business models. It might sound creepy to compare Apple to Coca-Cola, but it is in some ways similar. Apple successfully market the iPhones as the products you have come back for every September. I know that iPhone sales been slowing down recently, but over the years they had successfully keep their profits rising. They increased iPhone prices to over $1,000, and people keep coming back. Apple might not be realizing dozens of the phones and laptops every year, but every product they get to the market is so beautifully designed that people keep coming back for them. It ticks every box of the great companies. So once we are done with the virus, the stock's price will recover 100%. And as fast as I see, it will probably rise even further. And both of them are now down by the 30%. 6. Tesla. I am a big fan of the Tesla, but it is really difficult to make a judgment. Honestly, I had never thought that the stock price could go as high as the almost $1,000 before it crashed. What I don't like about Tesla stocks is that it's too connected to Elon Musk. Don't get me wrong. I am the big fan of Elon, but I think he is genius. But his actions could be unpredictable, therefore making the stock's price unpredictable. Maybe that is the stranger to raise money to continue to great work he is doing, but as an investor, it's not as so good. However, since the stock's price almost crossed the $1,000, maybe it will again. And if it does, it's a great opportunity to investors in Tesla now, since it has suffered greatly in this crisis. Seventh, JP Morgan, Bank of America. Another sector that seems promising in the financial market. This industry is definitely controversial, and it's difficult to be too confident in it. However, some financial institutions have been in the market for over the century and have only grown. Take an example of the JP Morgan. We have an entire video on how JP Morgan became the largest bank in America, and it seems like it's growing. So the 40% drop it had experienced in the last weeks is temporary, and it is getting back for sure. It is the perfect opportunity to double your money in the safe investments, and the same goes for the Bank of America. In fact, even Buffett himself significantly invested in the Bank of America, it S&P 500. But if you are type of the person who is scared to invest into the specific company, I mean, who knows? There is always a risk for any company to go broke. You can't be fully confident. But what you can assume yourself is that the company will get back to its knees, which means the S&P 500 will get back to its prior positions. In fact, it is already recovering. It's crossed 3,400 before the panic. It's just by the getting back to its initial positions will make it a worse investment. I am sure that many of you are considering to invest in companies that are working on the vaccine because the entire world needs it now. And the race for the vaccine is firings. However, you have to have deep understanding of this industry in order to make the move. Vaccines aren't easy to develop; they can take years and billions of the dollars. But the companies we have discussed are most likely to going to recover and get back on track, which presents the excellent opportunity to make a bank. Now, before you make any investments, you have to do your own research and make up your mind. Make sure your decision isn't solely based on a YouTube video, and you understand the things or two about the market, and at least know how to analyze financial statements before you throw your money. So I will leave the link into a simple but really great course on the Skillshare about the stocks market. If you want the stocks market to be explained to you in a simple and direct words, then you have to watch the course in a short, animated, and straightforward. The line will be in the description. In fact, you will get 2 months free access to Skillshare, so you can have course completely for free if you are the link down here. Thanks for watching, and until next time.